Today we're going to do specifically a focus on practice that includes a little bit of effort, but I want you to be mindful that it is imbalanced with a state of ease and calm. So your breath is going to be of utmost importance. With yoga, that's always what we start with. So let's go ahead and just start in a tall seated position. If we consider the foundation, our sits bones, we call them, we think of them as literally the part of us that's connecting to the earth. So if you want to rock back and forth a little bit to find your own pelvis, you're welcome to do so. Essentially, we're looking to remove any rounding in the spine. So if typically you find yourself seated like this, like many of us do, we want to work on bringing that pelvis into neutral. So for me, that often means tilting it forward a little bit and then coming into that straight seated position. Most often that's where you're going to find yourself. If your knees are up here and you are sitting down and you find your pelvis but your knees are comfortably up, uncomfortably too high, a solution for that is just either getting a cushion or a block. And so your knees will eventually come down with time and flexibility, but initially if this position is tough, find a block and get that primary alignment in your pelvis. You might even want to get onto a chair or a folding chair so that you can let your legs come out in front of you, because the key as we breathe is to really have that posture. So whether you're on a chair or on the ground, we begin with just noticing that that's our foundation, and from every posture we'll work from that place on up. And so as we live on this beautiful planet Earth, we appreciate and consider how the earth supports us. So this relationship with the earth becomes vital as we learn to trust it. So let's go ahead and close our eyes with your palms just resting open on your knees. Make sure that your shoulders are drawn back and you're sitting upright. It'll take a few minutes for you just to let go of the thoughts of the day or maybe plans for tomorrow. So give yourself the time to ease in really into this moment. So in the comfort of your own home, finding this place where you can just explore a few moments of quiet. With your eyes closed, it's an invitation to remove the way that we are relating to the world outside of this body throughout the day, or depending on what your work is or what you do. And then move your attention inward, allowing yourself to notice the rhythms and the patterns. So in the quiet space, we often will notice things come up, maybe emotions or maybe thoughts, maybe background noises, excuse them if they're here. Just let yourself be challenged to, even in the midst of distraction, come into that quiet place. It doesn't mean you're stopping all of your thoughts. It just means you are observing thoughts, emotions, distractions, and just letting them pass you by. It's like a cloud. Cloud might come and then go and not have any repercussions. So just allow yourself to be present within yourself. Depending on the state of your physical body, there comes a point where the distraction of sitting still, where there's discomfort, may arise, and there's a sense of a need to shift or move or adjust. And if that needs to be the case, go ahead and do so. But I do encourage you to find the stillness and commit to it. Notice that with every exhalation, you're softening your shoulders, softening your skin. So this is a time of you giving space to allow for healing, to allow for your own journey inward. We're going to envision that this breath that we're noticing and observing is actually going to be bringing light into the body. So if you can have that image in your mind that as you sit in your stillness, that you're drawing light down into the belly, deep into the connection with the earth. So we'll start with this pranayama viloma that specifically works toward observing how much breath we can draw in. We're going to repeat inhalation, pause, and then inhale again. And you'll notice that there is space for more breath. And then on the exhalation, you'll do the same. You'll breathe out what will feel almost like a full lungful of breath. You'll pause and then you'll have more to exhale. So let's do that 3 times, okay? So we'll inhale through the nose, deep breath, to the count of 4. Pause, inhale again. Pause, exhale, pause, exhale again, empty out deep belly, pause, inhale, lowest part, pause, inhale the second half, pause, retain that breath, exhale, pause, exhale again. Beautiful. Inhale, Pause. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Beautiful. So relax for a moment. Bring your hands now facing down. Allow them to just hold on to your knees softly. I want you to bring your chin to your chest. Just soften through the back of the neck. Just let go of anything that's tight in the shoulders. On an inhale, coming back through the center. On an exhale, bring your chin all the way to the right shoulder. Inhale, come back through the center. And all the way to the left shoulder. Inhale, come back to the center. Bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Press that left shoulder down and away. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, opposite shoulder. Envision yourself receiving the breath as the light into the neck and then come into neutral, seated. From here, if it becomes uncomfortable, feel the freedom to adjust. You could either come to your knees if you'd like, and if you have a block or a pillow to sit on, that's fine. We're going to do a little bit of shoulder rolls. So let's first start with still that basic foundation of the pelvis is in neutral, wherever you're seated. And let's round the shoulders forward. Empty the breath. Inhale, roll the shoulders up toward the ears. And then exhale, open the shoulders, bring the shoulder blades back and down into your back. Inhale, reverse that movement. Pause there. Exhale, round forward. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, a little bigger, a little broader, and exhale. From a side view, I'll show you the same thing. Inhale, and exhale. Empty the belly out. Inhale, and exhale. You can bring your hands behind you and open your chest. Round the shoulders back up. Inhale. And this time as you draw the belly in, round the spine and hold onto your knees, really opening up the upper back. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Beautiful. We'll do a little more practicing of movement with breath, because that's what yoga does, is it connects the breath with the body. And then in that movement, we notice that our mind is focused on our breath. So it brings a stillness to our thoughts, which we have often one repeating after another. So let yourself stay focused on your breath. Let those thoughts come and go, and let the breath guide you as you move. So you'll notice that the breath is happening regardless of your effort or will to have it happen. So as we enjoy the breath and give it that sense of expansive space within us so that it lights us deep within, let all the movements come from the center so that you're engaging always. In yoga, we do have this practice of this muscular bind that's at the base of the pelvis, really the perineum, and that base, often just by engaging it, will draw the belly in, so that there's 2 binds. There's a bind at the base. You draw up and inward almost like a Kegel, and then you draw the belly button in toward the spine, and that's the Uddiyana Bandha. So these are 2 binds that help us as we draw the breath in. The idea is we don't want to let the prana, that life-sustaining force that we're drawing in, seep out of the base. We want to retain it. So that is our bowl, so to speak, at the base. And as we draw it in, We constrict the back of the throat just enough so that you can hear your breath moving. It's often described as if you're going to fog up a mirror, or the Darth Vader breath, so that you can hear your breath moving, and it then becomes not only your focal point but the sound and the rhythm that you'll connect with more than anything else. So let's go ahead and move from this into a little bit of a side stretch with our breath and a twist. Okay, so let's bring our hands to our heart. This is called Anjali Mudra. Our left and our right side of the body connect, and here we also pause to acknowledge if there's an intention that we have for our practice. So, full breath in, breath out. Almost as though you're placing that intention in the palms of your hands. Extend your arms up toward the sky and open your arms up, releasing the arms. You can move the video up a little if you want. With that openness, what you're doing is you're saying, I'm letting go of expectations. So we focus on our duty of the effort we're making, but we do so and are encouraging ourselves to let go of expectations. So we work here full-heartedly, and then we expect out of this that we'll just find the energetic move, but we'll in that process let go of our expectations. So let's do that one more time. If your hands are still up, bring them back to your heart, and then inhale, reach them back up. And every time you do that, let that just demonstrate your release of expectations. We come back down to our heart because we connect again. What is our intention? Why are we here? What has brought us to the mat? Maybe we need to get centered. Maybe we need to feel uplifted. Whatever it is, yoga actually is like this well of water that satisfies, satiates your thirst. And so it meets you or anyone in different walks of life to help fill that up. So let's inhale, reach the arms up, let go of the intention. Exhale, come back down to your heart. So this very simple movement is actually just connecting you again in this prayerful mode of releasing expectations, opening your arms to receive, and then coming back down to your heart, because it is a balance of what we have as an intention. From here, let's bring our left hand down to the ground and extend our right hand maybe in the opposite direction, and then we'll reach the right arm up toward the sky and walk your fingertips out as far as is comfortable for you. If you want to hold it there and just let your gaze move up, you can. If you feel limited in your mobility and your shoulders are cramping, allow yourself to just envision the space that you can embody. So you're thinking about the side waistline primarily here. So if that means it's more comfortable with your hand behind your head, go ahead and do that. If you have the movement and the space, you can come down to your elbow or maybe put a cushion underneath there. And then just open up that arm back, just almost as though you're opening up your heart. Good. And then from here, round forward and bring this hand all the way down to maybe meet with your other hand. So a modified version, if you're up here, could just be yourself reaching in that direction. And then almost as though you're opening your heart again. So you'll find Hatha Yoga is this amazing practice of opposites. So Hatha itself stands for sun and moon. So we open and then we close. And then from here, as we open back up, we can bring that left arm back up, and here again, opposing forces, we release expectations, and we bring our palms back to our heart to connect to our intention, and then inhale, release them back up, And then bring the opposite hand down. It doesn't matter which side you're doing first. We'll do them both the same and do the same thing. So we find balance also, not only from opposites of opening and closing, but we find opposites or balance on our left side, our right side, our front body, our back body. From here, you come to your own best place to open the side waist. So wherever that may be, if it's on your side, on your elbow, on your hand, it doesn't really matter what it looks like. It's really what it feels like to you is what matters the most. So inhale, reach, and then we're going to round forward and down. The fingertips, maybe you remember, touching down to the hand a little bit, reaching in that direction, and then inhale, open back up. And just enjoy the movement of your body. From here, both hands reach up toward the sky. And just experience the fullness of that. Also, again, if you have shoulder issues and the shoulders need to stay right about here, that's fine. You're just opening symbolically, doing the same thing, and then come back to your heart. One last exercise in this practice, in this part of the practice today. Inhale, reach your arms up, extend up toward the sky, and now we're going to go into a twist. So the left hand comes in front of the right knee, or it can be the right hand in front of the left knee, it doesn't matter. And you just hold to whatever place that feels good to you, and you breathe. So you see how we're opening up, we're sending the breath into all these places that we're opening. So as you hold in your twist, you're not going to a place that you're uncomfortable. You're just going to your own personal edge, whatever that may be. Enjoy. Inhale, come back through the center. Both arms reach up, and now we go into the opposite direction. So remember, any time that you feel yourself really tired, or as you move through this, depending on where you're at today, try to just press through, and even if you just do a very small demonstration of it, let your spine move in all these directions, because it will enable the freshly oxygenated blood to flow. Inhale, arms up, so it can be right at the center, and then we bring our hands back to our heart. Thank you so much for practice, and every time we bring it to a close, we honor those that have had this tradition of yoga for so many years, and we say namaste.